There are these fresh sanctions that have been imposed by the US on Russia's two largest oil companies in a bid to pressure the Russian counterpart Vladimir Putin into ending the war in Ukraine. These US sanctions target Rosneft and Lukoil. These are Russia's two largest oil companies that US has actually labeled as Kremlin's war machines. And for more on this, we are now joined by Pranay Upadhyay, the editor for India Today Global. Warm welcome to you, Pranay. Good to have you with us. A lot of developments that are taking place in the last couple of sessions, and now we have these fresh sanctions from US on Russia. Now, what our viewers would want to understand is that India, being one of the largest importers of Russian oil so far, what would these sanctions really mean for us?
As far as the US sanctions are concerned, because the US Treasury Department has sanctioned, as you mentioned, Rosneft, which is a major oil company of Russia, and Lukoil. In fact, if you see Nayara oil refinery, Vadnar oil refinery, Nayara is a major oil retailer in India, and Rosneft is a 50% stakeholder in it. So definitely there is going to be an impact for India and Indian oil trade. But on the larger aspect of it, actually, the real issue lies here is that India has to trade a balance between US and Russia, not only in the terms of the strategic relations and strategic partnership, but as well as from the economic and the financial point of view. Let us try and break it down from these two aspects. As far as the economics of the oil trade is concerned, definitely things have improved for, or situation has improved for India to even look at the further cut down on Russian oil import if the pressure is indicated in that direction, because the international oil prices have come down. Currently, for the month of October 2025, the oil prices are at around 64 point some dollars. So it is less than 65% dollar. And earlier, like in July 2022, it was as high as $115 per barrel.
Sure.
So definitely there is a cut down. There is a room for India to reconsider. If you see, as far as the stated energy policy of India, that India being a bulk or a major energy buyer, in the third largest energy buyer of crude oil for that matter, India always pursues the policy of a diversification of the oil basket. We buy oil from Russia, we buy oil from the Gulf countries, we buy oil from the United States as well. But definitely this reduced, the oil prices have given India a room to reconsider. However, the very question, that will India stop buying Russian oil? The answer so far is no, because India believes in diversifying the energy sources to ensure the energy security and steady supply of our energies.
Fair point. So, but if we are not going to stop, even lowering imports from Russia, do you think can augur well for our anticipated trade deal with the US? That's what Donald Trump in his latest statements has been pointing out to, that India is now going to be slowing down their purchases from Russia when it comes to oil. And that seems to be going well with his own statements, on Diwali, when he was also saying that, yes, we may be closing in on a trade deal with India as well. So how are you looking at that?
Look, as far as the trade deal is concerned, there have been fresh round of negotiation, though there is no breakthrough as yet.
Sure.
But the deal is inching closer to it. We still have some time left, because if you see the earlier statement by Prime Minister Modi and President Donald Trump of February 2025, we still have the deadline of till fall of 2025. So still we have time till November. But as far as the reduction of Russian oil is concerned, as I mentioned, that there is a one aspect of it, which is the financial and economic aspect of the oil trade. Another aspect is the strategic aspect. In Russia has been a close strategic partner, a privileged strategic partner for India, and ahead of Russian President Vladimir Putin's India visit, which is due on 5th and 6th of December, we do not want to give a message that we are succumbing to a US pressure and we are leaving Russia high and dry as far as the oil trade is concerned. But if you carefully see, actually the latest statement by US President Donald Trump, he clearly mentioned that he understands the aspect that India cannot bring it to zero, but it will gradually reduce. And now there are conditions in which India can reduce, because the price cap which was imposed by the Western countries, which is at around $60 per barrel for the Russian oil, now that the gap has reduced. As far as if you compare the earlier prices and the price at which we are buying. So definitely there is a room for India to reconsider the Russian oil. We have seen indications of reduction in the month of September. the October figures will come in few days. Then we will get to know that how much reduction has happened. But definitely, the US sanctions, the Treasury Department sanction on the Russian oil companies will definitely, rather they'll induce or they'll demotivate many of the oil importers, not only the Indian oil importers, but many other oil importers as well.
Okay, thank you so much, Pranay, for all of those details. Two important points for all our viewers there. That one, we are not stopping Russian oil. There is no indication of that from the government as of now. Yet remember that we have to balance both Russia and US as our strategic partners. Two, even if we are lowering the crude oil imports from Russia because of the US sanctions, as some of the reports from Reuters have indicated that RIL is now recalibrating its own Russian oil imports, is because there is also now room for us to diversify our purchases because the crude oil prices themselves have come down, and therefore the benefit of the huge discount that we were so far enjoying from Russian oil does not really matter that much because the prices themselves have cooled off.